Hello there, my name is Miguel, and this is a quick overview on an NPM package that I just made public today. And it is basically a rate limiter that uses Redis under the hood, and you can plug it into your Express application. It is very easy to set up. You only need to have a Redis instance running, and it needs to be using the Redis official library. So if you're interested on using it, let me show you how to install it and how to use it in your Express application. Okay, here I am on my Express application, and all you need to do to get started is do npm install, and you're gonna copy this exact name, Redis rate limiter, Express, and don't forget hyphens, and you press enter. Okay, after that's installed, you're basically going to copy this code. You're going to import this rate limiter from this from the same package, and you're going to create an object of it, and you're going to pass your Redis client. This Redis client needs to be from the official Redis library, okay, the one that is called Redis. And after that, you're going to pass this limiter to the Express application. Now, let's see what this configuration means real quick. When you specify the request limit, you're telling the rate limiter up to how many requests the client can make in a window size. In this case, we also specify the window size in seconds. So here we're basically telling the rate limiter that the client can only make 2 requests in 10 seconds. If the client makes more than 2 requests in 10 seconds, they'll get a 429 status code, which means too many requests. Finally, there is the Redis key, which is going to be the identifier in memory for Redis. And you can just leave it blank if you want. And if you do, it is going to be saved as rate limit key, but you can basically customize it. And obviously the same for the other settings. You can pass the window size in seconds that you want and the request limit. Also, since this limiter is just a middleware piece, you can pass it to specific routes. It doesn't have to be the whole application. So, for example, you can just pass it to this route, and it'll only apply to this get request at /. Now, in this video, we'll not go too in depth for the code of the package, but I do want to show you the basic sense of how this was built. So let's consider that we have these same settings where clients can only make 2 requests in a window size of 10 seconds. Now, all the rate limiter is doing under the hood is it is taking the IP address from the request object, and based on that, it is building a key, which is going to be passed to Redis, and it is going to remove all the Redis keys from the time that you specified in the options. So for example, if you specify 10 seconds, it is going to remove all keys from the same client from 10 seconds ago. That is basically what this line here is doing. After that, we add the new request that just came. That is what this line is doing. And in here, we count the amount of requests from the last 10 seconds. And if we notice that there are more requests than the request limit, we're going to send a 429 status to any requests. And if not, we basically just continue with the execution of the program. Finally, let's see how it looks in action. This is Redis Insight. It is one of my favorite tools. It lets you see your Redis storage in real time in a very visual way. So let's send 2 requests, and I'm going to refresh this, and I'm going to have access to the keys as they're coming. And if I send another request, since it's already been 10 seconds, nothing's going to happen, and it's going to let me send just one more, but let's see what happens if I send another one. I get the expected 429, and that's basically how it works. So now you can rate limit the users of your application with very minimal effort. All right, if you want to learn a little bit more about this project, you can check out the link to GitHub in the description, as well as the link to the NPM package itself.